Let me just get my filters up and running, get everything up and running. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Renae. I'm an online business strategist, serial entrepreneur, and global educator to over 100,000 people. This is our weekly wine time where I get to connect with you, chat with you, and answer all of the questions that you've been asking me for the week that was. I've got a bunch of questions that have just come through today. Bittner, I'm going to answer some of the questions that you've just asked me on our video interview. I just did an interview for Bittner for the cover of her new magazine. Your girl is going to be a cover girl, and the magazine is coming out on the 18th of December. I am their very first cover girl for the magazine. No big deal. Always wanted to be a cover girl. And that Bittner has asked me some really beautiful questions. Things like how do you define your purpose? How do you define success? What does success look like for you? What's coming up in 2021 and beyond? What are my travel plans? All of those good things. But first, I have an extra large glass of champagne because it's my birthday. So cheers. And when I say it's my birthday, I mean I've been milking this birthday for a while, as I tend to do. It was my birthday about a week. My birthday was a week ago, but I've been milking it because I love milking my birthdays. So I wanted to let you know what I've been going through in the lead up to my birthday. I also wanted to let you know what has happened in my business for the last couple of months, because it's been the last time that I did one of these wine times was about 2 months ago. The last one was when my nephew was still living with us here in Australia. He's since moved to Portugal and took my heart with him. So I had like a period of darkness and sadness that I've been sort of coming out of, and you know, just getting myself back to a place where I'm okay with not having that little guy in my life or not getting to see him, and where you know, how I'm going to find and cultivate joy in my life, because he really represented joy. And this was part of the conversation I was just having with Bittner just then is, you know, I think that's something that 2020 has done for all of us, is that it's, for me in particular, where I felt it is that it's taken a lot of my joy away from me. So for me, joy comes from travel, from freedom, from adventure, from jumping on a plane with a one-way ticket, from, you know, getting in a car and going somewhere that I've never been. And that's something that's really been, I've really noticed with COVID, is that my joy, especially now that Sam has gone, is that, you know, it's been difficult for me to cultivate joy. So I've been really focusing on how do I cultivate joy internally and using the resources that I have just within myself. So not having to go external to try and cultivate joy. So I've done things like setting up an ashram. I have an ashram in my house. Hi, Carla. Hi, beautiful Carla. Hi, babes. I've got the most amazing ashram. Carla, how good is my ashram? Like, seriously? Do you want to be in my video, Carla? If you do, I'll let you in. We can chat for sure. I don't know if you're, yes, I didn't, oops, or not. And are you drinking, babes? Carla is my sister over in LA. Normally by now I would have jumped on a plane and gone and checked out Carla over in LA, but COVID. So yeah, one of the things that I've done to cultivate joy is set up an ashram and get really deep into my, you know, ceremonial practices, and find other ways to create and cultivate joy that I don't, you know, that are all about jumping on a plane, which is normally what I would do. So I guess COVID's had impact, you know, on everyone. That's how I've really felt it. I also wanted to announce, which is something super exciting, is that I finally launched Dream Life, the book. So Dream Life is the insider success secrets to create your dream online empire. This is the working cover. We've rejigged it a little bit, but you get the idea. So Dream Life is something that I had the inspiration for back in May. I realized that people needed a handbook for this whole online industry thing, and I was getting asked by my students. One of my students actually said, I just wish there was a handbook for the whole online industry. So that's what I created. So Dream Life is actually, it's the TV show that I'm currently starring in America is called Dream Life, the show. So I, you know, took a little ad lib of that title and called my book Dream Life, the book. So Dream Life follows my 5-step acronym for creating your dream life, which is an online empire, because let's face it, the only industry that is going to be a sure thing moving forward is the online space. So I really believe that everyone should, figure out how to get their businesses online, whatever that looks like. If it looks like a podcast, which is what Carla's doing, if it looks like courses, which is what I'm doing, or if it just looks like, transitioning your current business into a more online space, that's exactly what you learn in Dream Life, the book. So I'm going to run you through the acronym of Dream Life. So it starts off with D, obviously. So D stands for, I'm going to get my proper copy up so that I can use fancy words. Okay. D stands for define. So in define, we develop a mindset for success and teach you how to overcome the common fears and limiting beliefs that hold most people back from achieving their dream life. So I've spent 5 years now educating female entrepreneurs on a range of topics. I've taught 4 or 5 different e-courses, and what I've come to realize is that most female entrepreneurs come to me with some kind of mindset, negative mindset, negative belief system, fears, limiting beliefs, all these kind of things that really hold themselves back from doing something like this. So from doing a live stream or putting their content out, or creating a course or whatever it is. So the first thing that we do before we even think about your business is that we work on your mindset. So in that module, in chapter number 1, in define, I run you through all the things that I see are really common, things like imposter syndrome, perfectionism, lack of self-confidence. Where does that come from? Fear of putting yourself out there, fear of being seen, fear of being heard. So that's all up in chapter number 1, in define. Then in rarify, made up word, but we're going with it. In rarify, this is where we make you as unique as a rare diamond. So no 2 diamonds are alike, and no one on this planet has your unique skills, wisdom, and life experiences. And that's why you're able to create your genius zone. That's what your superpower is, because what defines you makes you unique, and that's sellable, that's packageable, that is something that you can charge a price for. So in Rarify, I teach you all of my personal branding information that I had when I was a fashion editor, when I was creating personal brands for these A-list celebrities, when I was working for Southern Cross Austereo as a TV stylist, and also when I was getting myself lots of media appearances. That's what I kind of figured out, personal branding. So that's what we teach you in Rarify, which is chapter number 2. Then in E, we go into estate. So this is where we build your estate content. So when you're an employee, they tell you to go and buy an estate. That's how you create wealth, right? You go and purchase property. So when you're an entrepreneur, you have something way more valuable. You can create your own estate, your own real estate. So this is where we package up your Genius Zone, what we just taught you in Rarify. We package up your Genius Zone and we put it into some kind of sellable estate. So whether it's a ebook or whether it's an e-course or whatever it is, that's what I teach you how to do in E for estate. And there's 7 different ways that you can create digital products today in estate. Then in Automate. Automate is where I teach you the ninja badass world of funnels. You know that I'm all about the world of funnels. You know, I'm all about creating a more automated life and really getting my time back for things that are important. So this is where we work less and live more, and funnels are a life-changing game changer. So in A, I teach you automation, and then in M, I teach you how to magnetize your business with traffic. So this is where I teach you the most effective strategies to drive customers to you. I pull back the curtains on ninja techniques to amplify your message to the masses. So you'll see that Dream is backwards to how most people tell you how to run your business. So if you get on the Facebooks, everyone is like, grow your social media following, create more content. They're telling you this. They're like, create more content, like get more followers, like get more people to your email list. That's what everyone's telling you to do. But unless you have a product to sell, and unless you have a mindset that is open to creating massive wealth and abundance, and unless you've positioned yourself in a way that makes you unique in the marketplace so that you don't have any competition, and so that your customers see you and know instantly that you are for you, that you are for them, then there's no point in getting more traffic, right? So you need to start with your mindset first, open yourself up to massive abundance. We need to position you in a way that makes you unique so that you don't have any competitors. So it doesn't matter if the algorithm changes, or it doesn't matter if, there's a new app in town, there's a new TikTok. You're going to be your unique self, which is what people are actually paying for. So the people that buy my courses, that buy my books, they're buying them because of me, because of my uniqueness, because I don't look and sound like everyone else out there. And that's really what you want in this online space. You want to make sure that you are uniquely you, so that you can stand out from your competition. The worst thing that you want to be doing is looking and sounding this just like everyone else. So when people come to me, when they see a Facebook ad of mine, when they see an Instagram post, they know immediately whether I'm for them or not. And I'm pretty polarizing. Like, people either love me or hate me. Like, there's no in between when it comes to me. People are either looking at this going, she looks ridiculous with those earrings, or they're looking at this and going, fuck yes, the earrings, I'm all about it. So that's the kind of response that you want in the marketplace. You don't want people to just be like, oh yeah, and keep scrolling. You want them to have like a visceral response. So that's what R is, personal branding, which is rarefy. And then once we've made you unique, and once you know what stands you apart from your competition, and once you're open to abundance, then we create your estate content. So this is the 7 different ways that you can make money today online. And then we go into automation, which is where we start. I don't actually teach you how to get this thing to work. I wish that I did, but I don't. Jesus. Okay, then in in automate, we teach you that. And then in M, we teach you magnetize, which is traffic. So if you're doing business the other way around, so if you're spending all of your time trying to magnetize, if you're spending all of your time on traffic, and you haven't figured out what makes you unique, you haven't worked on your brand, you haven't worked on your mindset, then it isn't going to matter how many followers you have, because you're not going to be converting your followers into customers. So that's my little rant there on Dream. So cheers to Dream Life. What's up, Habib? What's up, Warren Passy? Long time no see. Hey, M. Johnson. Hey, Lala Lane. I'm going to see if I can position that in a better way. So Dream Life launched on my birthday. I've been procrastinating. I talk about, cheers, Carla. I've been procrastinating on putting this out. Hey, Maddie. I created this. Yeah, I had the idea for this in May. If I wasn't like overwhelmed with procrastination and imposter syndrome, I would have had it out in June, but I got in my own way for a couple of months. Love that for me. It's what I teach in mindset. And then I finally was just sick to death of myself come my birthday. So I was just like, put your goddamn book out. So that's what I did on my birthday. We went live on November 26th, and then we had a great, pretty epic birthday sale. Hey Aviv, hey Rec, hey Maddie. So this has been on sale for about a week. It's going great guns. We're getting really, really good conversions on it. I'm super happy with it. And I'm already getting testimonials from people that are like one came back the other day. It was like, oh my God, Dream Life is sensational. Like, so filled with so many genius hacks and inspiring takeaways, because I actually get you to create, like, it's not just like a book, it's like a workbook. So there's like spaces for you to fill out. So we actually get you to create your business as the book goes. So I'm getting you to like do the work. It's not just like have a think about it. I'm like, no, you've got to actually, they're your action steps. So like, what are you actually doing today to create that? So by the end of the book, you have a business that's set up and ready to go. So you're all, throughout the book, I'm actually getting you to take action. And then by the end of the book, you're all set. Hey, Jessica. So, and then, there's lots of good stuff with funnels in there. And then there's lots of, just like, great pieces of, ahas that you just wouldn't even know about unless, oh God, this phone, sorry guys. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that's from my paid courses. So my courses on this kind of thing range from anything from like, $200 up to $2,000. So that's what is in the book. It's like the actual content that I'm teaching in my courses. So there's stuff from my Influencer Nation course in there. There's stuff from my, this is Influencer Nation, which is all my traffic stuff, which teaches you how to grow, market, and monetize your Instagram. We teach you, this is like my best performing content hack. So if you're trying to figure out what works on the gram and what doesn't work on the gram, that's literally what works. This is how to go viral. And then, yeah, again, key takeaways and lots of other fun things. So I recommend everyone go and get Dream Life. There's a link on all of my social networks right now. It's the Insider Success Secrets to Create Your Dream Online Empire. And by the end of the book, you will literally have 5 e-courses of knowledge all condensed down into the best content that I can give you. And it's like just super cute and super beautiful, and it's really beautifully designed, and you know, it's great. And it's my first book. So hey, I'm your go-to girl. Hey Ruth, hey Mikos. Go grab yourself a copy of Dream Life. That's my pitch for the day. But yeah, so do you want me to tell you about the funnel for Dream Life? This is what's really ninja. So if you want to understand the psychology of why you need a book. Thanks, Carla. Carla's saying so proud of you. Thanks, babe. Hey, Ruth. So the book is actually a top of funnel piece of content. And this is actually a paid top of funnel piece of content. So typically what you would do is your top of funnel content is free. So your top of funnel content is your social media. It's the content that you're already putting out for free. And you're probably putting content out with no real strategy behind it. You're just out there whacking content out, hoping that something's going to stick. So instead, what I teach you in the book and in my programs is that you want to create top of funnel content that people are going to want to opt in. So they're going to want to download your irresistible invitation or your lead magnet and enter into your funnel, which is what your automation is, your automated funnel, which gives people the opportunity to take the next step with you, where they sign up to a coaching program or a course or whatever it is. But that's the whole idea of creating funnels, right? Which is what you learn in Automate. So this is actually a top of funnel piece of content for me. So I'm actually using this to get people to enter into my funnel. Once they're in my funnel, they go through a series of upsells and downsells. So that's where you know how when you get to a page and it says, hey, you've just purchased the book, do you want to buy something else? There's a series of that. And then on the thank you page, they get to come to a live masterclass, which gives to them which is actually another whole funnel. So it's basically like a funnel on top of a funnel, which is actually super ninja, because what that means is that I'm going to be able to grow my list for free and get people to enter into my funnels for free. So the way that you grow your email list is either through paid advertising, which is what I do a lot of, paid advertising, or it is through social media, which is content marketing. I don't do a lot of content marketing. Content marketing is the slow but free way of growing your email list. So it's free, but it's slow, but I don't do a lot of it. The other way to grow your email list is through publicity. I do a lot of publicity. I just got off a interview. I was just doing an interview for a magazine cover that I'm going to be on a magazine cover of. So I do a lot of publicity and I do a lot of paid ads, but I don't do a lot of content. But this is actually going to be a way. I'm going to run ads to buy the book. People are going to buy the book, which will recoup my ad spend. And that means I'm going to be running ads for free. So do you understand that? So I'm going to be running ads to people to buy the book. When they buy the book, that will recover my cost that I just spent on serving them an ad, which means that I'm going to be getting free leads into my database for free. So I'm going to basically be getting free Facebook ads. Is that not the most ninja thing you've ever heard? So that really is why I wrote the book. So that's what, aside from the fact that it's genius and it's going to help you and it's like $7 and you can learn everything from the last 5 years for like $7. It's super good. So that is, that's the strategy behind it. Rutha says, does my book have fashion? No, there is no fashion in this. Are you one of my fashion students, Ruth? Let me know. Hi, Nora. Hey, Photo Amin. Great to see you. So, yeah, that's what the book is all about. So let me know if there are any questions for me for this week's Wine Time Ask Amber. What else has been going on? Hey, Escapades. So yeah, I launched the book. We went into a Black Friday sale, which has been super popular. And then now I'm just trying to figure out what what's going to happen in the new year. So I'd love to hear what you guys are doing in the new year. I'm about to take off for the year. It's this time of year that I get in, usually I get on a plane and leave, but this time I'm not going to be getting on a plane. I'm going to be getting in my car and driving, going on some kind of adventure, because I feel like my life has been devoid of adventure this year. So going on an adventure, and I'm going to go away for a couple of months and just try and find some fun, because this year has just been no fun. It's like literally the most unfun year. So that's what's happening with me. Let me know if there are any questions. I think I was going somewhere with that. The next thing that I'm working on is a collaboration with Lead Pages. Lead Pages is an industry publication. So if you are in my industry in digital marketing, there's basically two tools that everyone uses, and one of them is Lead Pages. So Lead Pages have asked me to do a collaboration where I am teaching my influencer marketing content for one of their big launches that is happening at the start of the year. Hey, Miss Gab, I didn't call you today. I'm sorry. I owe you a phone call. Hey, Observant. Hey, Quiana. Hey, JB at Sea. Hey, Neilsy Swip. So with Lead Pages, I'm doing a collaboration where I am teaching my influencer marketing stuff. So this is actually one of the things that I teach in Dream Life. I actually believe that influencer marketing is going to be more relevant than ever. And these days I'm using influencer marketing to fill my webinars and also to sell my books. So influencer marketing, I think, is what it's really good for is peer-to-peer recommendations. So peer-to-peer recommendations, I feel, are going to be more revered moving forward, because we're all currently living in a really uncertain time. We are not sure, we're much more hesitant at spending money. We, need much more certainty when we're opening up our wallets. And I feel like a referral from a friend, from a peer recommendation is going to be more revered, more trusted. So that's actually a big strategy that I'm doubling down with for the end of this year and then moving into 2021 and beyond. And it's something that I'm teaching across all of my programs. So one of the big industry publications, Lead Pages, is profiling me. We're doing a big influencer marketing training for them, and I'm going to be launching my Influencer Nation program at the start of the year, which is super exciting. Thanks, Bitner. It is really exciting. So the last time I did a collaboration with Lead Pages was in 2018. It was their number one. They put out like a blog post every single week. It was their number one blog post for the entire year. So, and what they did was they profiled one of my funnels. So they profiled my evergreen webinar funnel, which is like a completely automated evergreen webinar funnel that was making, at the time, it was making like 22 grand a month for like 10 hours a week. So they profiled that, and it was like their highest rated piece of content for the entire year, which is super cool. So we're doing another collaboration with them in January, which is gonna be really fun. Hey JRG, it's been a while between drinks. How are you? Hey Joy Love Life. Let me know if you are loving this. If you are, give me some hearts, give me some thumbs up. Oh, hi Anita. Oh my gosh, I was thinking about you the other day. I want to know, and I'm going to reach out to you, Anita. I want to know how your program's going. So that is what is going on with me. Let me know if there are any questions whilst we're live on the call. Just checking my group. So I've actually, so a strategy, hey Anita, a strategy, which is, I don't know if it's a strategy, it's something that I've been thinking about for a while. I have a Facebook group for each of my paid courses. So I have one for my fashion course, my mindset course, my personal brand course, and obviously Freedom Funnels. And I am grouping my courses together so that I can be more present, so that I can give more value, so that I can help in a greater way, because I felt like trying to separate myself across 4 groups was really, it was time consuming, and I never felt like I was actually giving anyone any kind of value. So I've joined everyone into one group. It's also going to mean that any student of mine who purchases anything, including my book, is now going to be part of Amber's alumni. And then in Amber's alumni, I'm coming up with all new content ideas, ways that I can serve my alumni in a more deeper way, ways that we can connect in a more deeper way. So, if you are an alumni and you're listening to this, I'm open to hearing about how you want to connect with me and how you want to connect with other members of the alumni as well. Hey, Mama Bear. Okay, cool. So where are we up to? So some of the questions that I want to that I got asked in my interview today that I thought were really beautiful questions were, what is my definition of success? So and I love this question. I think it's such an interesting question, and I think that, you know, the story that I shared on this interview was, I was raised with two parents who had really super bad money beliefs, and also very what I would never aspire to in terms of career. So my dad was an engineer. He got his first job upon graduating engineering, and he retired from that exact same job. So the exact same job. So same job, same position, same company. He never got promoted. He never got a raise. He never rose up the company. He never did anything else. He just had that one job his whole life. And you know, earned an okay wage, but like certainly not anything for 50 years of work or 40 years of work, whatever it is. And then my mum worked in the fashion industry, and she massively over delivered, way, you know, used to make her company so much money, but would be on minimum wage. So she would work like, you know, get in there early and work late and work on the weekends and just be getting paid like nothing for it. So they were my two role models when it came to like, what does work look like? And I think I realized pretty early on that neither of that was going to work for me. Like I didn't want to aspire to be either of those things. So when I was asked today what success looks like, I answered in a way that my version of success has changed over the years. So my first business was a fashion label. I used to have a fashion design manufacturing label, and all that I wanted to do in that business was to be creative. I just wanted to express my creativity. I wanted to, you know, make sure that I was creating something new and amazing, and really being in that sense of creation as often as possible. And that was my definition of success for that business. As a result, that business ended up being quite successful. Like we dressed Paris Hilton, we did international runway shows, we had accounts all around the world. It was quite a successful business. And so that was my definition of success back then. These days, my definition of success is, do I feel like my soul is being lit up? So do I feel like I am on purpose? Do I feel like I am creating impact, creating change, making the world a better place? And you know, the closer that I get to that feeling, the happier I am, the more fulfilled I feel, the more successful I feel. I'm not saying that I feel like that. I definitely, most days I wake up and I feel like I'm not, you know, I feel like I'm not giving enough. I feel like I'm not living up to my potential. I feel like I'm not creating the impact that I know I'm meant to be making. Does anyone else feel like that? Is it just me? Let me know. Kanik, Tough Mothers, Pasha Shibaba, Harm Second. Let me know if you ever feel like that. But I'm getting an overwhelming sense of that at the moment. Like I'm feeling a lot lately that I'm not living up to my potential. I don't know if it's just like the change of energy. I don't know if it's just this year, but a lot lately I'm just like, dude, you need to do more. Like you are not doing enough. You know, you're not creating impact. You're not serving enough people. You're not changing enough lives. So that's kind of, I guess, my definition of success. That's when I know that that's when I'll be able to say, hey, you're successful. It's when I'm being in service and making the kind of impact that I know I'm meant to be making. And maybe it's also with this book, right? Because this is the first time that I've published a book. And this was for some reason, this was like a big deal for me. I don't know why. Like I've been, you know, selling courses on this for years and years, but for some reason writing the book was a really big thing. So I think there's something around that. I haven't figured it out yet. I need to go and sit in the ashram for a little bit longer and like meditate on that. But I feel like there's something in that you know, my soul is feeling like I'm not doing enough of. Maybe that's the feeling. What's your definition of success? I'm rambling here. What is your definition of success? Do you know what your definition of success looks like? Let me know in the chat. I'd love to hear what everyone else's is. Let me know. Thanks, JRG. JRG is congratulating me on my book. Ooh, it was released last week. Super excited about it. Getting some great testimonials. Oh, I've just lost my chat. There we go. You'd think I would just figure out a way to do this so we don't have to go through this whole sticky screeny thing every single week. Gosh. I would love to hear what your definition of success is. Is your definition of success a monetary thing? Is it a time thing? Tough Mothers is saying impact. Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's Tough Mothers. Hi, how are you? I was on your podcast. My definition of success has never been monetarily based, which I think, I think I'd be a lot less stressed in life if I just actually put any value on earning any kind of money. But sadly, it's like the lowest form of, it's just like the lowest motivator for me for some reason. I just really don't care enough to want to like earn lots of money. But having said that, I should be caring more about it, I feel like. So I guess again, before COVID, my number one motivator was freedom. So that's why I created this life that's total like automation life. So it was all about like, how can I work less? That's been my big motivator for the last like 2 or 3 years. It's always been like, how can I do less? And I realize how that sounds, but for someone like me, I've worked, my first business, I literally worked myself to death. I worked 7 days a week for 5 years. So I did not take a day off. I didn't take Christmas Day off. I didn't take my birthday off for 5 years. I literally worked myself to death. I eventually ended up in the hospital with cancer. That's how hard I worked. And not just like worked like every day. I worked like 14 hours a day for 7 days a week for 5 years. So like that's been my understanding of life, right? Like I just always work so hard. So to go from that and then in this business to I really get automation. Like I really understand funnels. It's like the engineer in me really, really gets it. So for me, once I kind of like was like, oh my God, I can just build a funnel and it can just do the work for me. So like once I figured that out, I just went funnel crazy and like built all these funnels. And so my whole goal for the last couple of years has been like, how can I work less? That's been my motivation. So that would have been, a couple of years ago, that would have been my answer to how do you define success? It would be like, how little can I work and still like, live a decent lifestyle? But it's all shifted in the last couple of months. And again, I don't have the reason as to why that has shifted in the last couple of months. But for now, all of a sudden, my definition of success is like, how much of an impact am I making? How many lives am I changing? How, am I living up to my greatest potential? And I think like the sad story is I don't think that I am, which is, I guess that's where great change comes from. That's one of the things, right? If you first have to get to this place where you're going, I'm dissatisfied. And then from the dissatisfaction, then you start creating the change. So then you start making the necessary changes so that you can start moving into that new energy of being that new person, that new version of you that you want to be. And I guess that's the beauty of evolution, right? I think if we all just stayed the same person that we were last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, then what did we come here for? That's not what we incarnated for. We incarnated so that we would grow and we would change and we would evolve and we would become more and more of who we are. So that's where I'm at right now. Fitness saying, oh wow, sorry guys, was that loud? Sorry. Fitness saying balance, abundance, and fulfillment aligned in every corner of life. It's a state of being and a way of being a whole human. Yeah, and I think I think your alignment changes over the what you value changes over time. As I said, like what I used to value was working less, whereas now what I'm valuing is like making greater impact, changing more, helping more, changing more people's lives. Hey Magenta Girl, hey Lafcan, Dumiva, Britsky, Sweet Babies, hey Sanita. So I was sharing on this interview that I just did. I'm just gonna hold it there. I had an email from a woman through the week, because we were talking about like I'm on a TV show, as you are. I'm on a TV show called Dream Life. It's aired in America a couple of months ago. It's about to air in Australia, and Bittner asked me, you know, what's it like being on a TV show? I'm like, it's great. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's fun and it's exciting, and, you know, it can be a wild ride. But what really lights me up is the impact that I'm making in the world. So, I just got an email through the week from someone. She was in Denmark. She's a 45-year-old woman in Denmark. She sent me an email saying, I've been in finance my whole life. So working in finance for however long, 20 years, 15 years. And I've always wanted to be a fashion stylist. I took your fashion styling certification program, and I'm now working as a fashion stylist thanks to you. So like 20 years of like dreaming is now a reality thanks to your styling program. And I was sharing that, like, that's the stuff, you know, like that's the good shit right there. That's the shit that you're like, cool, I'm gonna try harder tomorrow. I'm gonna get out of bed tomorrow. I'm gonna make it bigger tomorrow. I'm gonna impact more lives tomorrow. So I think that is, I think, you know, being able to do that kind of work in the world, I think is extremely, you know, extremely soul satisfying. Like, it really brings the soul great happiness and great joy, and knowing that you're helping people to live their dream life. I think that's what it's all about, right? And we were just having this conversation with Bitno. I feel like, so if anyone's having a tough year, the countdown is on, obviously, hence why I've got an extra large glass of wine. The great conjunction is happening on I think it's like the 18th of December. And once that conjunction happens, that's the end of all the 2020 fuckery. So this whole 2020 has been all about the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction. I think it's Saturn-Pluto-Jupiter conjunction. And it's like touched over a couple of times throughout the year. And it ends December 18 or December 19, like around that day. And then we move into the age of Aquarius. Then all the planets start going in forward motion. Then like everything starts to shift. Everything gets out of Capricorn. So, you know, depending on what your sign is, it'll depend on what you've been working on for the last 18 months. But Jupiter is moving, Saturn's moving. Yeah, it's like the great reset, but reset in a good way, not in like this crazy political way that everyone's talking about. So if you're like counting down to the end of the year like I am, we're almost there. We made it through 2020. And I think at this point, you know, I think it's just about changing perspective on like I was just saying, and I was saying to my brother, Marina is saying she's joined. Hey Marina. I was saying to my brother, because I went and celebrated my birthday with my brother, and I was like all sookie la la, like I've done nothing this year. I've got nothing to show for it. I've had no adventures. I've seen no, you know, normally I would try and go to at least one new country every year. I would normally try and create a new product, or I would try and, you know, experience something new that I've never done before. I would try and you know, have some sort of fun, and I've done none of that. So I was all like, wow, I've done nothing this year. It's been the worst year. And my brother was like, he wrote on my birthday card, you've been on a international television show, you've published a book, and I'm about to be a magazine cover girl. So I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this because like it was a huge perspective shift, because I hadn't done all of the things that I would normally think of as achievements. So for me, an achievement is having adventures, having fun, having joy, traveling to new places, you know, doing great things. And I hadn't done any of those things, so I was feeling really sooky. So my brother helped me change my perspective and realize that, like, you know, and I guess that's what the whole beauty of 2020 is that we all need to change our perspective on what we are finding joy in, and what we are valuing within ourselves. And also, where am I going with this? I guess like, I don't know, I guess like try and be kinder to yourself, because I wasn't being very kind to myself. I was really beating myself up over not having done all the things that I wanted to do. So try and be kinder to yourself around what your 2020 has looked like. And I feel like at this stage of the game, if we've made it to December of 2020, which we all have because we're watching this, then I think we should all celebrate with a big glass of champagne, because I feel like just making it this far with this year is really one to be celebrated. That's where I'm at this point. Hey Marina, hey Amy's, hey Kinses. So that's my little takeaway on the end of the year. The energy shift is coming. You've made it this far. You've survived. You're still alive. You've still got, you know, if you're watching this, you're more privileged than, you know, 90% of the people on the planet. So let's all be grateful for the things that have gone well for us this year, and yeah, have a perspective shift around what you thought the year was going to look like, because I definitely thought my year was going to look a little bit different than this. Hey Chris, have you bought my book yet? You should go and buy my book, Dream Life: The Insider Success Secrets to Create Your Dream Online Empire. Hey Opal Essence, the cat. I'm going to wrap things up because it's 5 o'clock here and I've been talking literally all day, so I need to not go and speak to anyone for a while. And yes, cheers Bitna, cheers to everyone else who has made it this far. And I feel like if you've made it this far and you're still in business, or you're still got your family together, or you're still, you still got your health, or you've still got your wellness, or you've worked on your mindset, then you've had a successful year, because it's been a tough one. It's been tougher than any of us will likely ever experience in our lifetimes, according to the astrologers. So if you've gotten this far, congrats. That's my little takeaway for you. Cheers. I'm going to wrap things up. If you don't have a copy of Dream Life, go and get a copy of Dream Life. It's available on my any of my channels. And have yourselves a beautiful weekend. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. I think I'm going to do a couple more, live streams before the end of the year. And then I'm going to wrap things up for the year. So bye ZG, bye Bitna, bye Kelly P the Stylist, bye Opalescent. Thank you so much for hanging out with me live, and I'll see you guys same time next week. Bye.